Welcome, dear guest, friend and follower to the QUiLi Caribbean YouTube channel. If you can or can't sew, it's not a problem. Learn firsthand by world-renowned lingerie and bathing suit designer, Mr. Hugo QUiLi. He is also known for his lingerie and bathing suit easy-to-put-together patterns. We welcome novices, hobbyists, and professional sewers to this channel. Rest assured, you all will learn new tips and a nice craft. After or during the tutorial, you may also sew your lingerie and you will be amazed at how easy it really is. You may also start your own business if you wish to. In this occasion, we will be sewing pattern Victoria's Model 1024. It consists of a lace waist, which consists of two pieces, a lower and upper waist piece, a front piece in Polilycra, a gusset piece, and a posterior piece in Polilycra. Here we can see how the pieces will be sewn together. Start by overlocking the gusset on the upper by this piece so that the finished product will have a neat presentation. Continue with the front piece and place the posterior piece to the front piece with right sides together, and then we add the gusset on top of the posterior side with the gusset's external side facing down on the posterior piece. This we will also overlock. This operation is done so that the seam of the gusset will be enclosed between the gusset and the front piece of the thong. Continue sewing common elastic on the leg with the inverted French seam using the overlock machine. The overlock machine will have a wide long stitch. We will pull the elastic diagonally under the presser foot of the overlock machine and sew until the elastic has straightened up beneath the presser foot. Then we insert the fabric starting half a centimeter before the seam at the leg, and here we also start diagonally. When the blade starts to cut the fabric, we straighten it to continue sewing. Here we take 5 centimeters from the presser foot to us, stretch at a minimum, so this means half a centimeter or less, and continue sewing. This operation we repeat for the other leg opening as well. From the second part of the inverted French seam, we fold the fabric and elastic and sew it with the zigzag stitch of 2 mm long and 3.5 mm wide. We fold, accommodate, and sew. This operation is done on both legs. At the front and posterior waist, we are performing an overlock stitch to have a neat presentation on the garment. Now we continue with the wide and thin waist lace, which will be joined throughout the waist. We will also perform this action with the overlock machine. We start sewing, then we stop, match borders, so that we sew the lace evenly and they match at the end. We match, stretch for them to meet at the sides, and we continue sewing. Now you take the posterior sides and overlock them together and again match the extremes. The excess thread remains for the finishing procedure. This is the posterior side. Now continuing with the presentation of the garment, and to have a neat presentation, we are going to stitch on the loose border of the seam, pressing it downwards with a zigzag stitch of 2 mm long and 3.5 mm wide. You can also skip this step, but the idea behind this procedure is to have a more professional end product. We look for the mid front, which I will mark with a pin. Here we will attach the front piece, half on the left and half on the right of the pin, which we will also mark with a pin. Now we turn it inside out and sew. Here there's no need to stretch, but we simply put them on top of each other. Here we'll use a zigzag stitch of 2 mm long and 3.5 mm wide. We will also turn the strand inside so that we can secure it to the seam. We will start with a back stitch, and since we have now secured the two pieces, we take the pins off and we continue sewing and turning the strands inside so that they can be secured into the stitch or seam. When we reach to the other side, we again perform a back stitch to secure the seam. Very carefully we trim off the excess threads or strands. Operation to the posterior side. In this case, we use the seam as the center reference point. Here there's no need to stretch, but simply put them on top of each other. Here we'll use a zigzag of 2 mm long and 3.5 mm wide. When we reach to the other side, we again perform a back stitch to secure the seam. Very carefully we trim off the excess threads or strands. Now we go to the center front and add the decorative bow to the tongue, and we sew it with a 3-point zigzag stitch of 0 mm long and 3 or 4 mm wide. This is the completed project. It wasn't that difficult after all, right? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we invite you to follow our Facebook page and to visit our website. The relevant information will be found in the description box below.